Hey everyone, welcome. Today we are talking about how to rewire our brain. Why brilliant women self sabotage and don't even realize it. Here's the thing, only 8% of people actually achieve their goals. 8%. And most of them don't even know why they're stuck. So if you're brilliant but still spinning your wheels, your brain might be sabotaging you. It's not actually what you're doing or how you're doing it, but it is what's going on below the surface. So today we're going to talk about how to flip that script, rewire our brains so that you can create success in all that you do starting today. Hey there, I'm Jen Beck. I'm a registered nutrition consultant and the creator of the Energy First Leadership Method. For over 2 decades, I've helped high impact women to achieve their boldest goals, not by pushing harder or powering through, but truly by rewiring how they lead from the inside out. Today, we're going to talk really about how we get through the root of the resistance. So often we blame ourselves, like, I should be doing more, I should be doing better, I can't believe I haven't done this yet. The whole monologue of self-abuse, and we blame ourselves. But the reality is there is a root to your resistance, and it's your brain. If you've ever made a plan and then sabotaged your own success, I'm curious if that resonates with you. You've made the plans, you've done all the things, it's like, this is what I'm going to do, and then you don't follow through. If that resonates with you, drop an S in the comments for me. And then let me know if this hits home. You've set the goal, you make the plan, maybe even you take a few first steps and then nothing. Or you find yourself in a total distraction, like, oh, shiny object syndrome. I'm going to go over here and do this. Or you find yourself back at square one. It's not willpower or a discipline issue, it's your brain. Your brain, specifically your amygdala. Your amygdala is trying to keep you safe. This is the center in our brain that lights up when we feel unsafe. But what if your brain could become your strongest ally in growth versus your biggest saboteur? Because here's the thing, when you work with your brain, procrastination fades, confidence grows, and your results compound. Because when we're in alignment with our brain, when we overhaul everything in one day, when we make too many changes, when we are not in alignment, our brain, all it wants to do is stay safe in the cave. Think about it. You could have this cave and you could step outside of it. The cave is dark and damp, and there's scorpions and spiders and who knows what else in there. But it's the devil that you know. It's the discomfort that you know, and you know that you can survive in there because you already have. Now, outside of that cave, there could be butterflies and sunshine and success and happiness, but there could also be a saber-toothed tiger. And because our brain doesn't know, we stay stuck in that space. Our brain wants to be in control. It's wired to keep us out of danger, especially emotional danger. It's wired to make life easy for us, to make it efficient, and to really conserve our energy. And let's be real, ladies, change is none of those things. So when we start working with our brain, you no longer get stuck at the edge of the breakthrough. You actually break through and create the success that you want. Dr. Adam Ghazali said that we're burdened with ancient brains. Because like I said, we're wired to avoid stress and to stay safe. So think about starting a business. Starting a business could equal starvation risk. Raising your rates might equal fear of rejection. Releasing weight might trigger a famine response. And intimacy in a relationship might equal fear of abandonment, right? Change equals risk. Risk equals threat. Threat equals the fight, flight, or freeze response. So if we are trying to change, especially change big things all at once, our brain goes, nope, not happening. And if we're not in alignment and what we want doesn't have a feeling of safety and security with it, and we're not in total alignment, we will stay stuck. So what do you do about it? What's the solution? And the solution is to be able to rewire our brain. There's two ways to be able to do this. One is a conscious way, one that's active, right? It's the tip of the iceberg. Because these are the things where we can be able to, in the moment, we can rewire things, we can reframe things, we can reset things. The other is at a subconscious level where we're really addressing the limiting beliefs, the trauma that's stored in our body, the negative emotions that are stored in our body that we, at an unconscious level, a subconscious level, associate with certain things. So if we're not addressing what's below the level of the iceberg and we're only addressing the top, lasting change is difficult. Okay. And I have a workshop coming up in just a couple of weeks called Reset the Rules. And I'm going to dive deeper into both of those and really explain and unpack how this conscious and subconscious rewiring works. But today I want to give you some things that you can do strategically, specifically today. Okay. I'll go ahead and post the link to the webinar in the comments below. So save your seat today. There's only 100 spots available. So save your seat today so you can be able to join us for that and really understand how to create lasting change that's in alignment with where you want to go, but also in alignment with your nervous system, where you can keep your brain safe, where you can rewire the beliefs that have been holding you back, and really do that so that you can create lasting change. You can clear the path to success versus pushing through it or needing to work through it. Okay. But today I want to give you the 3 steps to rewire your brain in the moment. So the first one is to acknowledge the fear. When you have that fear coming up, when you feel stuck, when you feel like that apprehension or anxiety, it's a real feeling. It is your unconscious mind. It is your intuition. It is your subconscious, whatever you want to call it. It's tapping on the shoulder going, we've felt something like this before. I don't know that we want to go there again. Right. And if you've ever been in the situation where you know there's something that you want to do, but you keep sidestepping it. You keep finding ways to to divert from it. Like, oh, you know what? I need a snack before I start this project. Or your phone mysteriously happens to ring and you must pick it up. You know, little things like that where you want to pick up the phone, but you keep finding resistance or reasons why not to. When you need to make a call in your business or something like that. So one of the things we want to do is acknowledge the fear. That's step 1, is just acknowledging that there is something coming up. And it's a matter of thanking your brain for trying to keep you safe. You know, the things that we have done in the past, the patterns that we've had, the things that have held us back are there for a reason. And up until a certain point, they helped us. They allowed us to be able to stay safe. They kept us out of situations that were emotionally distressing or scary or dangerous. So the thing we need to do first off is recognize that there is a resistance and thank our brain for trying to keep you safe, right? It calms down the amygdala. When we go, thank you, brain, like I recognize you're trying to keep me safe. I've got this. Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I've got this. Because really, it's the little kid in us. It's the past experiences, the ones that we had when we were 0 to 8 years old, the fear in us. Sometimes it's the rebellious teenager. It's like, you can't tell me what to do. I don't have to do that. I don't want to do that. Right. But there's a younger version of us that's running the show in that moment. And so when we acknowledge it, whether we talk about a certain age or a younger version of ourselves or our brain, just acknowledging the fact that our brain's trying to keep us safe. It calms down the fight or flight response. The second thing then is to reframe the risk, right? And it's looking at both the positive and the negative. So what's the true cost of staying where I am right now? What's the true cost today? What's the true cost in a year? What's the true cost in 5 years? Because when we can start to identify what the cost is of staying where we are, then we've got a little bit more motivation to change. At the same time, we've got to go, what's the worst case scenario of me taking a step today, of me doing this right now, of me going to that next level? And if we can identify the worst case scenario, it's usually so outlandish. Like I will end up alone, unloved, and dead by myself. And that's worst case scenario. It's like, okay, is that really going to happen? Probably not. So let's weigh the cost of staying where we are or taking the action. And then the third step is to take a micro action. You know, if you want to start a business, that may be a whole lot of things to consider. where am I going to get the money from? All of the fears, right, come up. So instead of doing all of it and launching into like, I'm going to do this, well, what if you spent 10 minutes just researching a new business idea? What if you spent 10 minutes looking at what businesses are profitable? What are your skill sets? What could translate into a business, right? Spend 10 minutes just in the curiosity stage. And then write one paragraph, right? If you know that there is something that you need to do, take a baby step, take a bite, write a paragraph, go for a short walk, right? Do something that will get you into action and then reset and refresh. Okay. So that's step number 3, is just to take a micro action. Our brain starts to set in with fear when we start doing something different. It is the way that we're wired. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. It doesn't mean it's right, wrong, good, or bad. It just means that there is something that feels uncertain, insecure, or unfamiliar. Acknowledge it and take one baby step after asking yourself, what's the worst case scenario if you stay where you are and if you take that action step? Okay. Our brain, our amygdala, is kind of like an alarm. It goes off for burnt toast and for real fire. So know that just because you feel that anxiety, you feel that angst, it doesn't mean that you should stop. It could just be burnt toast. And you don't throw out the fire alarm, the smoke alarm. You reset it, right? You push the button on the smoke alarm, you get rid of the smoke and you reset it. Even if there's a fire, you reset it. So a huge part of what we want to do is start to rewire your brain for success. When we do that, we turn resistance into readiness. And goals feel exciting, not exhausting. If your goals feel exhausting, they are not in alignment with your brain, your nervous system, or truly where you're at right now. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't go after them. It just means that there is something that is standing in your way. And when you start rewiring your brain for success, they really do feel exciting. You are propelled versus pushing. And you lead from alignment, not from adrenaline. It's not a matter of like, I've got to, I have so many clients when I first start working with them, they load up on caffeine in the morning and then they're running on adrenaline all day versus waking up in the morning and going, oh my gosh, I get to do this. Like, this is awesome. I'm so excited. When we wake up excited like a kid on Christmas morning for our life, you are in alignment. When you wake up and you go, I have to get up or I need to get up and then I have to drink coffee, you are not in alignment. Or you are just so exhausted from doing all of the things for all of the people that are not in alignment. So here's the thing. You have choices. And right now, I encourage you to take the stuff that we talked about today and start rewiring your brain, right? Thanking your brain for protecting you, for looking out for you. Taking a moment and going, okay, what's worst case scenario if I say or if I do it? And then what's one baby step you can do right now and take that action step today? And if you're ready to dial into more of this and you really want to understand how to permanently rewire your mind and create aligned success, then join me on August 22nd for Reset the Rules. This truly is your first bold step to leading without sacrifice. I believe that you get to show up every single day in your life and feel amazing, body, mind, and soul. And it's about resetting the rules that have been keeping us stuck in the cave, that have been keeping us in the emotional spin, in overthinking, in exhaustion. And you deserve more. So I'll drop the link in the comments below. Join me August 22nd. It's 1 p.m. This is where we take everything we talked about and turn it into a personal revolution. Your personal revolution. Let's reset the rules, rewire your leadership, and truly rise without burnout. It's your birthright. You deserve it, and you can create it. I'd love for you to join me on the 22nd and to be able to step into that first bold step. And I will see you then. And I'll see you next Wednesday.